All right, guys. Lieutenant Commander Hilburn again here, going to do the AT level 1, and this will satisfy the yearly requirement. Cool. Purpose of the training: increase your awareness and see what you can do to help yourself. Cool. Major objectives here. Yep. The idea is to lower your vulnerability and understand how you can support basically the VR61 or the base here, and just the general Navy, I suppose. Cool. Threat. Yeah. September 11th, it definitely happened, right? So, I mean, there are definitely people out there that are trying to destroy that American way of life. Like, we're kind of shielded from it all, but, like, make no joke, there are, people out there that are trying to destroy your way of life. Cool. Using these factors, yeah, you can better prepare for the area. Number one, terrorists, are they in the area? Right, are they violent? Do they attack Americans? Active, sophisticated, predictable, and then you can see the list keeps going on. Obviously, you'll see the whole thing about here is just having general essay and kind of not being an idiot, right? Will go a long way. All right, cool. We're gonna go over just all the regions here because it's part of the requirement. But yeah, here in Northcom, it's kind of hit or miss. We do have some things and their tactics, whatever, and then there are the other. You'll see in all the regions there are people that kind of indirectly do it with their funding, training, or just allowing kind of something to happen on the side. UCOM, yeah, Islamic extremists are the primary threat over there. The IEDs, then we've seen kind of a lot of bombs over there in the recent years. Oop, did I screw that up? I don't know why they put UCOM in there twice. Cool. AFRICOM, yeah, stability in the region is threatened by a lot of things. Again, Islamic extremists over there. And then has the potential to be a significant transit point to support terrorism over there. PACOM, it's a diverse threat, say, and then there are ties between groups over there and Al-Qaeda. Southcom, narco-terrorism, just stay out of what the news is, what's going on in the news right now. And then they kind of attack differently. It's not necessarily they're attacking us, they try and attack business and things like that. And then it's supposed to be possibly a new way for them to be able to enter the country is just come through Southcom and then through Central America. Don't get too crazy about this. Just know that terrorists, like, they are smart and they have a planning cycle. They've done this and they've debriefed and they've learned. The suicide bombers haven't debriefed, but they keep going and they do learn and they have this plan. They go through it and they do things in a certain manner to see how they're doing it. All right, cool. Phase 1, yeah, they're saying, hey, what do we want to do? What do we want to attack, and what do we kind of want out of this, and what is our final end goal here? 2, then you see they start getting, hey, what's the guard forces, the layout, what SOPs, even personnel SOPs, like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, this dude walks the same route every time, type stuff. Identify a specific target of what they want to do that achieves their end goal there, and then they're going to say, well, how do we actually want to do this? And then they actually plan and design everything. They may trigger, you see a site there in 5 to just see, like, oh, we're fake, like a front, and then see kind of what the reaction is of those people during a run through of their thing. Then they actually carry it out, and then unless suicide, they're going to have an escape route. FP guns, yeah, Alpha, obviously going all the way down Delta. Charlie and Delta, if it happens, like, you're probably not going to be here, Central, and then I'm not here. And just know, like, the biggest thing with this is they're just implementing more and more stuff to basically make it harder for bad people to get on base. What's that mean for us? Longer lines at the gate, just deal with them. You know that they're putting up with a bunch of crap, you know what I'm saying? Just be nice and hopefully don't get detained at the gate, right? This is apparently a thing. I know everybody gets Amber Alerts and other national alerts on their things. So if you see something, expect it disseminated through the same media. Well, you recognize this? It's the slides. Just to go through everything. Cool. Anticipate. Again, essay. Know what's going on in your area. Avoid high crime areas. And then planning ahead and enhance your security everywhere you're at. Yep. Be vigilant. Again, essay. I feel like this is just, could be reduced a few slides here. You got to understand the normal conditions of the area to kind of be able to understand what's abnormal, right? Cool. Not all threats are just going to be predictable, and you're not going to, bad shit's going to happen, right? You can't just do everything in advance. What can you do? Reduce your exposure. Don't be where you see the Pentagon hat and all this other stuff. I don't think we have too much of a problem with that. But remain low key, right? If you see anything crazy, report something. Even if it's nothing, you can be told it's nothing. But you don't want to be the person holding that secret. Cool. Yep. I think this is not a secret. They conduct surveillance, and then, like I said, there against an individual or facility, and then they're looking at people's SOPs or just general SOPs, routines of facilities. Cool. Yep. We all know they tend to blend in, and they're getting smarter. You'll see here in the slides, the guys. It's not the same little, like, they make it so obvious. Like, they're getting smarter and smarter. Cameras hide in different places. They're just doing different things. Not to be, that guy, but they might just, you don't know what type of ethnicity they're going to be as well. So it's not as obvious as the old trainings and everything used to just have everybody point out to be. But I think from just a general sense of being an adult, you can kind of tell when something looks pretty odd, right? And so again, just report something. Yep. I don't know why they need to differentiate between stationary and moving. Yep. People can surveil. I think we've kind of already talked about, hey, the casual questioning, just be worried about that. We've all been there, like in the airport, and somebody just, why are you asking something? Like, it starts to just get weird, right? And that's, I think, pretty obvious. Nobody cares that much. Cool. And the probing is kind of just exactly the same. They're just gonna do this to see what kind of response they can get. Cool. Yep. DoD takes a lot of effort to make sure everybody's kind of pretty safe, but even on base, we're not safe. Obviously, full hood shooting and Navy Yard or things like that. Cool. The success of the installation depends on, their procedures, but also kind of everybody else in the discipline and not going and loopy-loo and what's going on down there. When they call lockdown, stuff like that, that we all take it seriously. Yep. Oh, there he is, right there, doing making it pretty obvious, right? Luckily, we're kind of here in the flight line, so the base would be like the bigger worry. We're already in a level 2 area back here that's harder to get in. We can't even get in when we want out here, Everybody needs to be ready response, familiar with emergency procedures, basically. Cool. Inside threat kind of went over this, but the NCIS has the whole section on this online, so not to kind of beat it up, but it's, it's somebody trying to do something, they're trying to sell whatever, they're inside, they're a trader. Good. Motivations, it could be anything. You never really know somebody's motivation, and I don't think anybody has the right to tell you that, this list is what it is. But in that, with the exception of negligence, there's basically 4 things they consider the opportunity, or preconditions. Like, you gotta have the opportunity to do it, number 1. If you don't have access to the information, you can't really do anything. The motive, why you're doing it to begin with. The ability to overcome takes some guts to do it, and then action. Early recognition, if you can, if you see, you know when people are kind of off their game. So really just kind of pay attention to people. Again, maybe not even necessarily tying it in with AT, but just pay attention to people, mental instability. We got a guy coming tomorrow, seasonal, just stay on top of people. Active shooter, I know it's apparent, everybody's like the worst scenario, having to train your kids for the situation is one of the things that just makes me so angry. And we don't know. You just honestly never know when it's gonna happen. I'm not saying to go run around, be scared. But we do the run, hide, fight / the call 911, right? You never know how long the situation is going to be gone, and at least we have, freedom in what they're saying that we can do, right? Because we all know the one in Texas where nobody went in, right, and the kids just suffered for it. Cool. So, run. If you're going to do it, have an escape pass en route. Don't listen. Whatever other people are doing, hey, if you're going, go. Don't grab your shit. Help others if you can. If you see somebody going that same way where they're at, stop them and tell them not to do that way, and then get out, and then again, you're just like the hostage situation. You're a guy, they don't know who's what's going on. It's such a crazy, chaotic environment. Just do whatever they say. Don't try and play hero. Cool. If you can't escape, hide, barricade. We know what to do. Hide somewhere. Silence your cell phone. I think most people have their phones on silent, but I think that's also probably not going to be on the top of your mind at that point. Probably be more barricade, make that hard for the shooter to get to you. Last resort, when your life's in danger, you just gotta act aggressively. And then once you're committed, follow through, make use of everything you can at that point. Honestly, like your life's probably on the line, right? Distract them, and then it might be risky, but it's the best chance of survival, right? We all know the guys that, I mean, didn't survive, but they took that chance on United 93, right? And they took over and they said, F you, basically, you know what I'm saying? Cool. And then all this, yeah, somebody hopefully has done this, and then again, once you're there, don't try and play hero, and then it's normal to feel helpless, and just, I can't even imagine how anybody would feel in that situation. When they go, just listen to them and do whatever they say. Back on to like the home side, everybody's favorite, because theft and home invasion is real. It's just probably more likely to have that stuff because they have access out in town, vice not access here. Majority DD resides off base, so you have the choice of kind of where you want to live, do your homework. Again, the Navy base didn't just pop up. There's a gouge out there on where to live, and you can't just rely on a realtor. They're bound. You can't just be like, yes, it's a crappy area, crappy school. They can't say that stuff. Cool. Look at your residence the way a criminal might, determine, hey, what can happen. Like, do the simple things, and the simple things might just be the deterrent that stops them because they're just lazy. Yep. Solid door, it's of no value if it's left unlocked, right? The very simple things, leaving your garage door open, the door open, like just honestly simple things, right? And then I think it would be a good idea to discuss plans with your family to understand. I would probably be shocked if everybody talked to their families and they were all on the same page on what to do in a certain situation. Social media, I think we've already learned all year to beat it down. Don't push it out there, right? They're just gonna, they can just exploit it. And all the stuff. Don't obviously put OPSEC out there. Don't, nobody's trying to give you $1 million or meet you. You're not going to find the love of your life type stuff. Stop. Be prepared, just like your car. You should have a kid in your car, right? If you were stuck in the mountains in cold weather, I mean, that could be a no joke, and you could die, right? So I'd be prepared for what you're going to do if your home loses power, all kinds of other stuff. Food, water, you see, there's emergency checklists all over the place on what you'd want, and it's probably tailored to a specific area. And then consider what you do there, I watched like a parenting show, and it was like, you didn't know, and it was like, what type of parenting is better? And some kids would just go randomly open the door and be like, oh yeah, come on in. And other people, it was just kind of mind blown to some of the parents. The same thing, like this guy comes and the people are getting smarter and smarter and smarter in this world to just scam people. Utility worker comes up, yeah, you would just, back in the day, this would just be like, yeah, okay, man, like that's what we're doing. Now it's like, do you really work there? Type stuff, take the extra effort. Go off security, yeah, or off duty, and obviously it's easier for people to attack those in like football stadium there. Big sites, lots of people, possible damage. Obviously there's security there as well, again, but a lot easier for them to attack that than on base here. Cool. I don't get too much into this, travel in small group, big group, whatever, but like, yeah, let somebody know where you're going, and then probably just avoid those other things like we do in all the briefs, like Stuttgart, so just avoid those guys. Public transit, yeah, obviously over in Europe, in Japan, big things. Select major hubs, man, I think you could probably not find one in Japan. And then just watch out, just like unattended luggage in the airport. You see some crazy dude, just leave it in a bag, okay. Keep your stuff close and just pay attention. Don't be sleeping on the bus, right? Cool. Yeah, always be James Bond. Have your exit route ready, and be able to say what guy was wearing in that corner at what time. No, but yeah, just to have a general idea, right? Air travel. Yeah, we know since 9/11 there's been a lot of threats, right? And they basically determined the threats are going to happen, they're going to happen on the plane or at security, and that's where security gets kind of the big backup. This is a very simple one. Don't be the guy with the sea bag, okay? It's a terrible idea, and whatever you need first is going to be at the bottom of the sea bag. Cool. But again, just limit your, hey, look at me. Cool. Security, yep, I could talk about. And so then to avoid that delay, have your stuff ready and just kind of keep going with whatever the TSA people say to get through there, right? Skyjackings, yeah, we learned that was a thing. They go in depth here, things to consider about pilots left control. You're probably not going to know a lot of this stuff, but every situation's going to be different. Cool. Ground travel, yeah, everything's just good. I remember this DC guy, the sniper, out of the back of the trunk of the car. Yep. Cool, so be prepared, maintain your vehicle, vigilant, suspicious behavior. even your vehicle, you can check out. I mean, you don't need to go get the mirror from base, but check your car if you left it in a shady area. You know what I mean? You should probably do this. Check your car anyway before going on trips. Hotel, Footoose's favorite thing. But yeah, it's easy. They know you're there. They know you're there temporarily. They know it's not your place. The hotel's been there. They've probably done it before. It's an easy, not easy, but easier for thieves. So once you get to a hotel, you're not allowed to have any fun, right? Yeah, no balconies, no good. It can't be overlooking a cool street, anything like that. But I mean, you get into it and you can kind of choose where it is. You know, hopefully don't be in a seedy area. To start with would be step one. And then you can see, you know, do you choose, I want to be by the stairs. I don't want to be upstairs. It's an easier exit, but it's easier for people to get in. Don't be on this. But again, no balcony for Footloose. And then once you go in there, yeah, that little thing on the door, you know, somebody really wants in there to do it. But again, check some stuff. In today's day and age, you got to check for cameras and other weird stuff. Know where the stuff's at, and then if you can, you know, make it look like it's been occupied. Hostage, highly unlikely, right? And hopefully it'd be pretty quick, and then negotiated. Just remember your 100.2 training, right? Cool. Initial moments, everything's going to be crazy, just like an active shooter, right? So there might be the time you might just want to run, you know, vice. You know, that's a situation that you're only going to know at that time with the essay that you've been given or have. Cool. But after that, once you're in, just comply. I'm not saying to go get Stockholm syndrome, but just maintain your dignity, self-respect. Don't need to do anything, and then keep the faith. Yep. Be secure, drop down, and then once they they come in again, hands up. They don't know who's who. There's a lot going on. Just do whatever they say. The truth will come out. Hopefully. Cool. The whole real bad stuff, weapons. Luckily, we're pretty minimal on that stuff. I hope it doesn't start happening. But basically, you can tell there's just a lot of things. It's gonna be harder to tell, right? It's colorless, odorless. It might take a couple weeks for it to happen. Somebody might diagnose you completely wrong. Stay on top of like the news and what people are saying. The symptoms are out, and then obviously, if you see some type of chemical attack where it's known, then yeah, I mean, if you're in the area, cover up whatever you can. IDs, yep, it's they're everywhere. They can be kind of dressed up as anything. If you see something weird, report it, right? Suspicious letters and packages, again, they're not. This used to be, you see letters protruding and crudely written stuff. They're not. They're getting more advanced. I wouldn't be surprised to see it, with an official mail label and it's all typed in capitals and it's supposed to be the way it is. You know what I mean? It could be IEDs, anthrax, whatever it is. So just, again, I don't think anybody's getting too much official mail out here. Are there any questions on AT level 1, not ATO stuff? Good, go. All right, thanks.